I was looking at one of your projects that you had done on, is it in nature? Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Because I think there's part of the process, there was a crack and you decided to keep it in.
Yeah, so similar to the kind of like darkroom process, the project, it was titled Dear Earth, was looking at nature in London. And I went round with my film camera and took some black and white pictures of things that seemingly shouldn't be there. So weeds in between pavements. It was also in the winter months, so any kind of plants that were flourishing, even though it wasn't like spring or summer. And my idea was to kind of take these images and then in the dark room put them back onto like concrete or like some kind of material that was opposite to like a natural material, like something that felt really man-made.
You printed it on concrete?
So that was the initial plan. So there's this material called liquid.
There's a twist.
Yeah, there's a twist. There's a material called liquid emulsion, which is, or liquid light is kind of its street name, I guess, where you paint it onto anything. And as long as it's kept in the dark, you can then do the same process you would printing in the dark room with a negative onto paper, but onto any material that you've coated in that substance. What I didn't realise is trying to do that on concrete, because it's so absorbent, the solution didn't sit on the surface. So the image I was getting was not very smooth, and it would kind of sit in some places and fade in others. So it kind of came up with this process of transferring the image rather than like printing in the dark room. So just using acetone. I think everyone's almost done that when, well, I did it a lot when I was younger, when you like do print transfers, when you know you learn how to like iron a photo onto something or like transfer it with nail polish remover. So it was a really simple process, but we just put it through these rollers in the printmaking room, so that it transferred like every detail of the image. And whilst we put it through these rollers, the concrete tiles that I'd made cracked. And those are the cracks that you're referencing in. Just the pressure, just like pure pressure. So the decision was made, like, do we do less pressure, but we get like a more faded image that's not as clear, or do we just like keep going with the same amount of pressure in these rollers? And that's what we decided to do, and leave the cracks in, because it felt like it became part of the image, and then just re-photograph.
Yeah. Which makes me think of the was it Susan Sontag quote that you said, that you shared with me?
Yeah, so...
Do you have it? Do you know?
I do have it. So at the start of my artist book, I put it in the first page.
It was the first page. It makes so much sense.
That was,
again, it's so much about the process.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of was the starting point. Before I'd come up with my idea, I guess if you want to say like there was one thing that was my inspiration for doing the artist series or looking at art and photography's relationship, it was this quote. But I can only see that now looking back. But the quote is, "The photograph in a book is obviously the image of an image, but since it is to begin with a smooth printed object, a photograph loses much less of its essential quality when reproduced in a book than a painting does." And I'm not sure I necessarily agree with the quote, but I just think it's an interesting point of discussion that paintings and sculptures and other art objects are inherently textured and physical things, whereas like a photograph is a kind of inherently digital flat object.
Therefore it would live in a book.
Yeah.
Perhaps better than a photograph of a sculpture or a painting.